Borough acquired the Forum Theater in 2019 to preserve it as a historic, cultural, significant landmark and to ensure its future as a cornerstone of the community. We received a $3.5 million grant from Middlesex County that covered the purchase price and allowed the borough to take ownership and begin the real work of beginning to plan how to revitalize, re-envision the theater and make sure it's done in an economically viable way. This acquisition of the theater has evolved into a broader plan to create the Metuchen Arts District, a place that will enhance the town's cultural vibrancy and quality of life, not just for residents, but for the region, and ensure that the Forum remains a vital part of the community for future generations. Arts-related projects are complex and challenging. They require special expertise, vision, strategy, collaboration, and a solid business plan to be successful. In looking at the Forum, bringing it back to life, the borough has brought in specialized expertise. We had some consultants. We also designated DEVCO as the official redeveloper for this vital project. As a private, nonprofit corporation, they were originally established to revitalize New Brunswick. They've gone on to work throughout Middlesex County and throughout the state of New Jersey. The theater was built on this site almost 100 years ago in 1928. It was a simple theater when it was built. Today, the Forum Theater itself is in a significant state of disrepair, including visible cracking to the exterior walls and foundation. There's other deteriorating conditions. There's significant damage to the beloved marquee. Inside the Forum Theater, there are various unsafe conditions related to the foundation, the slab, the floor system, outdated facilities that are not accessible, does not fit today's needs, doesn't meet code in a lot of ways. And finally, there's significant structural issues related to the roof. There's a large crack in the floor that's a little hard to see there that it's loaded with problems. The borough acquired the Forum itself in 2019 with a commitment to preserve its legacy as a theater. Meanwhile, across Main Street, we witnessed the loss of several historic Victorian-era buildings. And that began us thinking about a broader concept for the Metuchen Arts District to begin to encompass some of the area surrounding it as well. Down Amboy, down Main, and all the way over to Halsey Street. But we really see that there's a chance to bring the Halsey Street lot in as part of this thinking more broadly in master planning. So looking at the entire area, looking at it as an arts district, not just a theater itself. So the vision is really focused on reactivating the theater as an anchor for hosting various types of performances, special events, educational programs, other types of events, and thinking ahead, imagining new activities that couldn't be accommodated within the space and the constraints of the existing theater, from concerts, dance performances and comedy shows, standing room gatherings, where the space may be able to flex and have different types of seating and floor configurations, new uses that will help ensure that the Forum's economic viability and relevance will remain for future generations. And beyond the theater, we have an amazing opportunity to create an entire neighborhood and really foster something that might be different. Imagine having a hub of creative folks that live as artists in residence, something that's not here in the community today. So in order to do so at this larger scale, we needed a partner, and that's where DEVCO comes in, along with Middlesex County and the state of New Jersey. So and all of these groups are represented here this evening. It's really part of us forming a very strong public-private partnership and having all levels of government here working together. We have an opportunity to rebuild the theater the way we remember it, or maybe even better than it was. And it's critical that we can recapture the original spirit. We want to make sure this is a transformative project that revitalizes the soul of the theater, reimagines the Forum Theater, but can accommodate a wider range of activities that are needed in the community that have no home now. So please go interact, have fun, ask questions, get your answers. Most importantly, give us your input, and I encourage you to imagine what if. Thank you.
I'm really excited. I'm a 20-year resident of Metuchen, and I love that it will be a multi-use space, not only a theater, but an event space in a place for community to come together and to have opportunities to do art shows and other events.
I think the thing that's really important as well is really thinking about the revenue it's going to take to maintain this infrastructure. So we have to be mindful of business model as well as also community engagement. I believe in Metuchen, and I believe Metuchen can make it happen.
It's a good start. I'd like to see a little bit more studio space and that sort of thing.
To know that there is a lot of planning that's being done around setting up, this whole district to be art center is really a super exciting thing for us. And also, I happen to live in the south part of town, and so it's also very accessible to us personally, very selfishly. But just in general, I think it's going to be really fun once we start seeing it come to life.
I thought it should be maybe more in line with kind of a community theater, which kind of feels that way. It kind of feels intimate and it looks nice. So I think it's going to be great.
Overall, it seems like everybody wants to keep some form of the forum alive, which I think is important for the community and the region. But I'm excited. I think it's going to be exciting for the town. I think it's going to bring business to the town, bring more money to the town, and I think it's just going to be great overall.